courses, ebooks, digital downloads, or billing clients for services, Samcart is where you get paid for whatever it is that you do. At Samcart, you can sell anything and everything using our library of pre-made templates that have been used to generate billions of dollars in sales. Bring your sales page to life with the drag and drop builder. Offer your customers more ways to pay you by selling payment plans, subscriptions, bundles, and even pay what you want offers. You can sell your products as one lump sum or break up those payments into smaller chunks with payment plans. You can grow your recurring income with built-in subscriptions. And these are just a few ways that Samcart makes it easy for you to get paid for what you do. And now built into every single Samcart account is the brand new Samcart courses, the perfect solution for securely delivering your video courses, ebooks, and memberships all in one place. And it is built right into every single Samcart account. With the new Samcart courses, you can create a robust lesson plan for your students and even drip out the content on your own schedule. You can boost your sales by selling different tiers and bundles of your course. And did you know that right now, over 30% of your students never even make it to the first video? Which is why we developed Samcart's auto-enroll technology, which seamlessly takes your students from buying to learning in one simple step. No lost passwords, no support tickets, just more happy customers getting exactly what they bought every time. But what if you're a brand new course creator? Or you've always wanted to add an online course to whatever it is that you already sell? Then do not miss the Samcart Course Creation Challenge. Over 20 videos and lessons that will help you launch your first online course in just 14 days. You'll learn everything from cameras and lighting to launching and selling your first online course. And whenever you're ready, you can showcase and sell your course on one simple page, built with Samcart's drag and drop editor. Easily create high converting sales pages by adding video trailers, countdown timers, and more. Our mission at Samcart is to put the selling power of the world's largest brands into your hands, multiplying your sales with powerful features like one-click upsells, order bumps, and more. In fact, Samcart's database proves that adding a single one-click upsell increases your average order value by 68%. And next are the order bumps. Just one order bump boosts sales by an average of 31%. Create your first bump, and 1 out of 3 customers is going to hit that add to order button and make you more money. Selling subscriptions? Well, what are you doing about failed payments? Your customers' credit cards are constantly being lost, stolen, or expiring. So what happens when those payments fail? Well, instead of chasing down your clients, we created the Samcart Subscription Saver. Samcart automatically updates your customers' credit cards without you lifting a finger. So your subscription payments come in on time, which lets you focus back on growing your business. And for any advanced sellers doing 6 figures and up already, Samcart has all the tools you need to keep scaling. You can A/B test your product pages in real time and let the results guide you to your next move. You can see which version of your page converts the highest and make more money in the process. Turn your business into a well-oiled machine by integrating Samcart with all of your favorite tools for sending emails, managing contacts, and even doing your taxes. Samcart's integrations let you effortlessly track your return on ad spend, create new customer profiles, automatically ship out your products, and keep your team in the loop with updates and notifications. So let's launch your next course, ebook, mastermind group, CPG brand, or digital agency today. Samcart is home to over 20,000 creators who have sold more than $2 billion of their own products and services on Samcart. You can join them today and see why the right tool makes all the difference. Get started for free today at samcart.com.
Yep.
And what is going on, everybody? It is a Tuesday, which means Samcart Takeover. Jordan P. Anderson down below. My name is Scott Moran. I'm the co-founder here at Samcart. And today we are going to dive into this guy's business right next to my face. This is David Shands. He's a big-time podcaster, Instagram personality. I don't know how else to explain this person. You know what I mean? But just a content creator who sells his own stuff. Super excited to dive into David's business, talk about where he's making his money, how much he's making, and where can he be making more money. But Jordan, what's going on, man? How's it going? Let's check in first.
Pretty good, man. Are you in Austin still? Where are you at right now?
We are in the lovely Austin WeWork, where Samcard's headquarters is for about 4 more days, and then we'll be transitioning over to a more permanent space here. We got the rumor has it that the Austin studio is up and running, and that Jordan and I have been fielding many an Amazon box as we are getting really, really excited to have a more permanent home here in the Austin spot that doesn't need to be in my house either. So that's fun. We're working our way there, but we're getting there. We are getting there. So,
yes, sir.
Jordan, today's the takeover, right? We do something very specific, right? Every single takeover Tuesday, with what we do. Again, Scott Moran, that's me, co-founder here at Samcard. Jordan P. Anderson, our videographer. With us, not this week, is Taylor Danielle, who is lovingly out on PTO and enjoying some time off. So give drop some good vibes into the chat for Taylor there, who's not joining us. But Jordan, let's start with this like we always do. What is the Samcard takeover? What are we doing here?
What is the Samcard Tuesday takeover? So every Tuesday here at 4 o'clock Eastern, we find an internet celebrity, YouTuber, podcaster, TikToker, someone selling and making money on the internet. We find their business, we hunt them down, we investigate, we rip them apart, and we try to piece them back together and say, here's how we would do it. Here's how you should be making more money. We find the flaws, we find improvements. So if you have a favorite internet celebrity, drop it down below and we might add it to our list. But yeah, David Shands of Social Proof Podcast was on our list this week. And if this is the first time that you're watching the Tuesday Takeover, if you're a first-time watcher, type the word first in the chat. And throughout the show, it's a two-way street. Keep chatting with us. Drop your business questions. If you find a cool aha moment, which I think is the next slide, Scott, that if you find a cool aha moment for the takeover, that just share with the class. Take notes for the class with us. Oh, I didn't know $1 per subscriber per year is actually a benchmark. Or I didn't know you could make $50,000 a year with only 1,000 Instagram subscribers. All that kind of stuff. So type it in the chat. But Scott, let's get into it. We did a little prep work before the show, but David's got an interesting business that I think we're gonna have fun tearing apart.
He's got a super interesting business. So like Jordan said, keep your guys' fingers on that chat box. We definitely want to hear. We're gonna ask a lot of questions. We're gonna have you guys feedback. So be ready in that chat box down below this YouTube video. But yeah, David has a crazy business, and so we're really excited. It's a complicated one. So there's a lot of different tools and stuff like that. Like, go ahead and do this for me, guys. Put in the chat down below how many different tools you use to power your online creator business, right? You have maybe a tool for landing pages, an email tool, a tool for, checkout stuff, a tool for email, a tool for delivering content, a tool, it's like you have a lot of different tools. Give me a number, give me a roundabout number. Is it 5? Is it 20? Is it 3? Is it, whatever, and drop your number in the chat down below because, that's going to be, it's a recurring theme here on a Tuesday, right? When we look at these creative businesses is that, man, this stuff can get complicated real quick. And so if you are somebody who likes keeping it simple, if you're someone who likes minimal tech lift and easy tools and no code solutions, that kind of stuff, this is going to be an interesting one because we're going to be looking at someone who currently is, I would say, a complicated business and talking about how to make it real simple. But Scott, Jordan, what kind of numbers?
Scott, when you guys were running trainbaseball.com, how many apps were you guys using at one point to sell that course and ebook?
You see, back when we were just starting out, we were making those kind of mistakes. I mean, we were probably using, between 10 and 15, easy, what I mean? Like maybe more, honestly, maybe more. And it's just, when you get things to be complicated like that, it becomes really tough to keep moving, you know what I mean? Because you're not nimble, you're not quick, you're not moving on your feet anymore, and things just get complicated. So anyway, we'll talk more about that kind of stuff. But
all right, cool.
When we do one of these takeovers, right, we always ask ourselves exactly 4 questions. So if you guys are ever evaluating a creator that you like, okay, start with these 4 questions. Number 1 is, what is the opportunity, right? How big is the audience? How big is the reach? How many people can I reach with this idea, right? What is the opportunity, okay? Jordan, number 2.
Number 2 is, what are they promoting? So what kind of products or offers are they putting out into the world? What are they putting on their Instagram stories or their links? What are they promoting? What does it seem like they care about or make us care about?
Exactly. For sure. Number 3 is, how easy is it to buy, right? So if you are a fan of David's, if you're a fan of mine, if you're a fan of anybody's, right? How easy is it for you, a fan, to spend money with that person? Not something they're referring, not something, related to them, you know what I mean? Something that they own. How easy is it for you to vote with your dollars and say, yes, I love this thing. I want more. Let me dive in. How easy is it to buy? And then the fourth and final question, Jordan.
Sometimes we don't even get to this question because question number 3 is how easy is it to buy, and usually the answer is 0 because it's just a dead end.
The answer can be no. Yeah.
Yeah, 0 times 0. How easy is it to buy more? So if I am in love with their product, or I want to buy their course, or I want to spend time with them, or buy a coaching call, does it give me the ability to buy something else? Does it give me the ability to buy more, or a side offer, a cross sell, an upsell, a downsell? Is that even possible in the software that they're using? That's what we try to answer.
I love that. I love some of these answers too over here. We got, people saying, okay, cool. I use, quote, too many tools. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Christy said the same thing, too many. Healing in Hindsight said that, Alcon said 7, we got 7, we got 3, we got for sure 10 at least. We got a lot of different answers. So yeah, man, listen, it's a common problem. It's a very, very common problem. So, all right, we've established, these are the 4 questions. What is the opportunities where we're going to start with? Okay. So with David, what is the opportunity? This is someone who, we don't know exactly how big his, excuse me, we don't know how big his podcast following is. Like, we're not going to find numbers on that kind of stuff. But here's what we can find, okay, is we're looking at 240,000 YouTube subscribers, right? All right. Healthy size YouTube audience. And then if we scroll down a touch, here's from his Instagram channel, right? 275. Okay, so when we talk about, how the opportunity, we usually connect these 2 dots. We say, okay, cool. How many subscribers do you have? How big is your audience? You know what I mean? And what does that typically tell us here, Jordan? We always draw that back to, one number, add these 2 things up, and we're going to come back to something like, we'll call it, 500,000, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah. Let's call it easy math.
Yeah.
I mean, it could be more because, we don't know what's on Apple Podcasts. We don't know what's on Spotify. We don't know what's on Google Podcasts, wherever else his audience is. But from at least Instagram and YouTube, we can safely say 500,000 fans in total. And we don't even know if he's got an email list. So it's at a minimum, David's working with 500,000 fans.
For sure. Yeah. Which typically means when we say, what is the opportunity? That means that we're looking at a business that would probably be spitting out $500,000 a year, minimum, right? Minimum. And that comes down to that number that Jordan actually mentioned before, right? But we always talk about $1 per subscriber, right? Per year. Jordan, break that one down for us. That's a really, really important number that we want to make sure everybody knows.
I'll save you the writing. I got the graphic up. 1 subscriber per, $1 per subscriber per year. So that is kind of like your baseline metric. Now we have a ton of Sam Card sellers that are making $5, $10, $20 per subscriber per year. But this is like kind of your gauge. So like if you have a small email list, maybe you only have 500 people on your email list, or 500 people in total if you added up Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Snapchat, all the platforms together, and you said, okay, I've only got 500 people in my little business world. Your minimum would be $500 per year. That's kind of like your baseline. So anything above that, you're doing great. Anything below that, now you need to start thinking about what kind of products do I need to put out? Am I selling the right thing? Am I selling the right thing to the right audience? But that's the kind of bare minimum that we'd like to set. So David, we say 500,000 fans. He should be making at least $500,000 per year. And if he's not, and he's watching this, then we need to talk. We need to figure something out.
Exactly. Yeah. So that is a minimum thing. So go ahead. Before we go any further, guys, how big is your audience, right? How big is your opportunity? We talked about that first question, right? How big is your combined audience? Just drop it in the chat, right? Because I love to, again, some people will say, hey, look, I only have 1,000, email subscribers. Well, man, we know people with, 1,000 email subscribers, that are doing, $50,000 to $60,000 a year, right? So this $1 per subscriber thing it's not a rule. It's not a law. It's basically the lowest barrier to then say, okay, cool, you're doing okay. You know what I mean? If you're anywhere under that $1 per subscriber thing, per year, then there's a big opportunity in front of you to keep moving and keep going forward. So, okay, awesome. Well, that is how big is the opportunity. And Jordan, I can't see the chat, so you tell me if we got, what kind of answers you got coming.
Yeah, I got you. Oh yeah. Drop that number down there. How big is your total audience? Just give us a rough estimate. And also throughout the chat, remember that you can drop your business questions and we'll save them to the very end and try to answer them. So back to you, Scott.
For sure. Yeah. So, okay, the next question is, what are they promoting? All right. If you want to know how much someone's making, next step is, okay, let's go check out what the heck they're promoting. So if you go to David's YouTube channel, right? If you go to his, Instagram account, you're going to find, right, this stuff right here. So, this right here is called the link in bio, right? Is what Instagram calls it.
Mm-hmm.
And most people, the links they put here, the links they'll put like, underneath of a YouTube video, maybe would go like something like right here. You know what I mean? That is where you find out, what are these people promoting? Follow their links and where does it send you, right? And so for David, that sends us to this page right here. And this is called a link tree, right? It basically is like gives you a chance, the link in bio is going to click and open, this up. And it's basically, okay, cool. Like, where do these things go? Well, we've got a conference that David's speaking at, I assume speaking at, or maybe even hosting, coming up soon.
Yep.
We've got this thing called the morning meetup right here, which we'll get into in a second. You can book an Airbnb that he has, that David has. It's in the Atlanta area, and you can book the Airbnb, which I think is freaking sick. That's the coolest thing.
All right. Hey, another revenue stream.
For sure. Yeah. You've got, this one says pick me and Donnie's brain, which Donnie is on, on his podcast, on his show and things like that. We'll talk about that in a second. We've got this thing right here. That's, a course ebook. He's got a Patreon that people can pay him. So, we've got a lot of things to deal with, like a lot of things to kind of sort through here. Right. So if I were to, highlight the ones here that are making David money, right, I'm going to guess this first one's likely making him money, right? The morning meetup is something that he sells himself, and we'll get into that too. Booking his Airbnb, I'll give this one a yellow because this is probably not making him that much. You know what I mean? Like Airbnb's probably, they take their cut and stuff like that. Like, I'll give this next one yellow too. This is kind of paying him, kind of not, like type stuff. Ebook, e-course, 100%. Patreon, 100%. That's paying him. So we've got some good things to work with. A lot of times, what we deal with is creators that will have none of these links. You know what I mean? And all of their links point to like different affiliate offers or things that they don't own that aren't making them any money, right? So when it comes to what is David promoting? Right? He's got a lot of things here. And I think this is good. I think to me, this is a big old checkbox, right? This means that when it comes to what is David promoting, pushing people to these sorts of things, right, mean that David stands to benefit and stands to profit, right, from the links that he's promoting under his stuff.
Yep, 100%. Yeah, because we're always saying, don't promote someone else's product or don't send them to just some Amazon affiliate link. Like, yeah, if you've got your own product or some kind of form, like your form of revenue, push it. Absolutely push it.
Yeah. Stuff that you own, right? That's a big one. All right. So cool. What are they promoting? He's promoting a lot of different stuff. And we'll get into that because this might be kind of what I mean? Like what we're dealing right here could end up being, I'll just make a nice little red flag. Like, in general, this could actually be a little bit of a red flag here for David just because what he's promoting is so many different types of things. But we'll put a pin in that and come back to that in a second. So third question, how easy is it to buy, right? And this one is really self-explanatory, right? Literally just some people, when you go to their Instagram, you go to whatever, it's tough to find something to buy. And so making it easy on people to buy straight from, and it's funny too, because here's a great example. David does not have a homepage. Like Jordan, dive into that one for a second. Like if you Google David, all you find is YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, podcast. Like there is no website.
Yeah, and he's got a couple different names online. So if you're kind of a new audience member, you don't really, like, is it David Shands? Is it Social Proof Podcast? Is it David Never Sleeps? Is it Sleep is for Suckers? Like he's got kind of a couple different brand names going on. But yeah, it's counterintuitive. Before I joined Samcart, I believe that you had to have a homepage. You had to have a jordananderson.com, a scottmoran.com. Like that was an absolute must.
For sure.
But now that I've come to Samcart, I've learned like if you're selling the right thing and if you're directing people to the right product and right offer, you can make an entire living without having a homepage. We've got Christy Miller, one of our Samcart sellers. She is making well over six figures, and there's no ChristyMiller.com, and she's doing just fine.
Yep, love that for sure. Awesome. So let's talk about what's the next step. How easy is it to buy? Cool. We've got links to stuff that David owns, right? But if you click on some of these links, here's some of the pages you're going to be sent to, and just some of these things that are around, where you're going to go if you go and click on some of these links, right? So let's just go ahead. Let's lay this out because this is where things start to get a little bit complicated. All right. So if I, and I'll just back up, let me not have that line. We'll start with the morning meetup, right? And all we're going to do is just kind of map out what does David have to offer, right? So here's a big long page. The morning meetup is this thing that David sells, right? On a tool. Jordan, what is the name of that tool? Now I have morning meetup in my brain, but that's not it.
MightyNetworks.com.
MightyNetworks.com, right? Well, here's a subscription. Yeah, here's a subscription that David is selling for $79 a month, right? Which is expensive, right? But it's mentorship and accountability. It's kind of this like, hey, insider group that, listen, if you want to get in with David, you want to, chat more about this kind of stuff, right? Then you need to join the morning meetup, right? It's a crowd of people, supposedly
it seems like
paying $79 a month to him.
Group coaching call.
Yeah, group coaching call, community type deal, right? So there's one, but here's the problem. The problem is he's selling it on a platform that this is pretty much the only thing he can sell here, right? So you kind of go down, you get this nice little, very simple kind of sales page type thing, right? You click on the link down here at the bottom, which, by itself that's kind of a problem from like a conversion standpoint. It's in a button and, that kind of stuff. But really the biggest problem here isn't that he's selling a community thing. It's that this is like the only, we use the term one and done selling, right? And this is going to be a theme here with David, right? Is one and done, meaning all I can buy here is the morning meetup. There's nothing else for me to buy here, right? And so I'm going to have this one login to check out the morning meetup and stuff like that, but I can't discover his other products. I can't buy other things. Like I'm going to buy this one thing and that's it. That's all I get. It's one and done.
Yep. Here, Scott, I can pull up the live site just to kind of
go for it. Yeah, let's check it out.
Yeah, so if you come to themorningmeetup.com, there's one call to action button. You say choose a plan, or you can scroll down, watch the about video. But yeah, you choose your plan, $79 a month, and you can buy monthly. You have the option to buy a monthly plan, or you have the option to just pay all in full for the entire year of $399. But that is it. So you can kind of see what's in it, the host are, and then you just go to checkout, and that's it. So if I wanted to buy something else, or if I wanted to buy his book, or if I wanted to buy his course, and we're going to kind of go through this a little bit more, but this is a one-way street. There's no side exits. There's no other doors that I can walk into. It's just, this is the only product we have. It's a one product store. And that's all we have.
Yeah, for sure. So then if we go back over to the mind map, when that's up, right, is we go from, this link tree over here. And now let's keep exploring. Like look at some other things that David has to buy. If you click around some of these other links, you're going to come to a page, right? That's sold on Once Hub, right? And it's a brain picker with David and Donnie, right? And so you get 60 minutes of time for $3,000. Okay. So now you're talking, I like that price point. You know what I mean? That's a big number. Yeah. Like that's great. You know what I mean? It's a one-time fee. It's basically like it's a strategy call, right? And so again, cool, right? This is sweet that it's here. I'm guessing, not a ton of people take him up on this because there's not much here to sell what this is or anything kind of like that. You know what I mean? But it's a $3,000 strategy call. It's great. It's high price. You don't need many people to take it to really make it worth your while. You know what I mean? That's a hell of an hourly rate for somebody like David. But here's the problem, right? Once again, we're selling over here on this area. What is Once Hub? You know what I mean? Like it's a one and done type deal.
Another app, another login, another paid subscription to another software that you got to remember the password for.
Right. And so, hey, for those of us keeping track at home, right, here's the problem that I'm just laying out is we have, the tool that he's using for his community, right? Well, now we have this tool that he's selling these strategy calls on, right? And I'm sorry, guys, this is with my mouse over here. It's going to be a little tough. Right. But we got these, these strategy calls. And we're not done yet.
We'll make it look pretty. Hang on.
I'm gonna give it hooked up. I like it. So already we've got two different tools and two different places where David and his team have to go check numbers and stats and like that kind of stuff. It's not we are loading up on complexity early, right? Early and often. Okay. And they're not connected. They don't help him, David. They're not helping David sell his other things, right? And between there now, it's not over, right? So if I go back up here, and Jordan, let me know, are you looking at my screen? Are you looking at your screen?
Yeah, we're looking at you the whole time. Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. All right. So then here's number 3, right? If you click on another one of those links, you get to go check out this. And this is an ebook. I love the offer, right? $37 for the podcast playbook. It's all about content creation, here's, David over here looking awesome. And,
Yeah.
this thing right here is $37, right? So we'll just write this down here. Now we have a nice low end price point, which is good, right? $37 for an ebook. Okay. But once again, this is on a tool called ClickFunnels, right? And all it's doing is just selling the ebook. This is still, to this point, still one and done. You can't go from here to also buy his book. You can't go from here to also buy, tickets to an event. Like, there's nothing. All you're doing is letting a customer spend $37 and you're leaving, and that's it, right? So now we add a third tool to our list, and they're not done yet. If you go and you keep clicking around, David sells this book, okay? It is a literal physical book that he is selling. And guess what this is, okay? This is a $20 book, and guess where he's selling that? It's not on ClickFunnels. It's not on, whatever the one, what is it called?
Mighty Networks. I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah.
Shopify.
Here we are, $20. It's on Shopify, right?
Wow.
And so listen, having a bunch of stuff to go buy is awesome, right? David has done something so cool here. A lot of creators have the opposite problem where they have nothing to sell. They have no offers. So they have no idea how to sell. When you make more things to buy, your business will grow, period. Okay. So I love that David has multiple things to check out, multiple things to buy, right? But at the end of the day, we're now looking at a situation where, he has ClickFunnels over here selling one thing. He's got Schedule Once selling his, strategy calls. He's got Shopify selling his books, and he's got, whatever that other one was.
Mighty Networks. Yeah.
Selling his community. You know what I mean? And so what does this turn into? This turns into, well, guys, listen, that's 4 different places to check your stats, right? That's 4 different places to, serve for customer support, right? Customer support. So if anybody here really likes typing with a mouse, okay, just give me a hell yeah in the chat box. And if it's doing okay for it, I apologize there, but that's as good
you need
as
like one of those graphic designer digital pads where they do all the logos on it. Yeah.
I know. I'm gonna go get one of those huge ones. One of our designers here, Jessica Lynn, is a super talented designer here at Samcart, and she has one of these ones that's like the size of her desk, and so she draws on us. It's awesome. It's so fun to watch. It's super sick. Yeah, it's super, super sick. So, listen, Jordan, this whole thing that we're looking at David's business, just getting overly complex, it's tough to know where to start. You know what I mean? Like, if we kind of take a step back and look at this whole business, you've got his link tree, and it kind of links to a bunch of different kinds of pages and tools and things to go by, and they're all kind of disparate. And I thought this one page right here, I'm gonna zoom in on this. I thought this one page summed this whole situation up very nicely, right? This is a link off of David's link tree, right? Here's a link right here. And I just, it's a little bit down on this one page, but check this out, right? This is meant to be hey, where do I get started with you, David, right? And look how many calls to action there are. This is a link to something called the Six Figure Accelerator, right? So that's a coaching thing, right?
Okay.
This is to get on his podcast, right? This is where you become a post to paid member. It's kind of like a individual training they sell, right? This is where you can find out about a challenge. This is where you can invest in and schedule a coaching call with him. You know what I mean? Look how many different calls to action there are. There's just too many places to get started, right?
Yep.
If you're someone who follows David, there are so many different places for you to get started and dive in that it's almost impossible to know where the hell do I start, okay? Here's what we would like to see instead. I would love to see something simple and sweet, something that helps his customers explore and find something they have to buy and then buy more, right? Because here's the problem. We come back to the original questions, right? How easy is it to buy? I actually think David does pretty good here. You know what I mean? In general, it's not very hard. There's not 8,000 pages. You know what I mean? So I'm going to give him, again, I'll give him a check plus on that one, right? It's awfully nice and simple to go from watching a video to buying something, right? Great job.
Yeah, he could take credit card payments, which, again, a lot of creators out there who have huge audiences aren't even doing that. There's no even way to, if I am in love with you as a creator, there's no way to take my money.
Exactly. Yeah. But when it comes to that fourth and final question, how easy is it to buy more? This, I'm going to give him, I'll give him a D plus, right? David has multiple things to go buy. Okay. But at the end of the day, it's not easy for someone to go and buy more, right? If they go and they buy one of these things and they buy, they go check out and say they join his community, right? You've got to go back and start all over and go from discovery to page to this, to click, and place a whole new order just to go join one of these other programs or, kind of like that? And the answer is that it can be a whole lot easier than that. So Jordan, let's switch gears, because I think there's a Sam card example we're going to toss out here, right, that I think would be awesome to showcase what does it look like when it is easy to buy more. You know what I mean? And so for you, right, who are in the chat with us right now, I'd love for you guys to showcase to us, right, give yourself a grade on this, right? We just talked about how easy is it to buy, how easy is it to buy more. I want you guys, give yourself a letter grade, drop it in the chat. How easy is it for your customers to buy and buy more? Okay, so kind of squash those two together. Give yourself one, letter grade. And I would love to get a sense of, after we're showcasing what this is like for you guys, look at your own business and tell me, right? How easy is it for your customers to buy and buy more, right? Drop me a letter. And we got Christy being brutally honest right off the bat. Christy coming in hot with an F. So Christy, listen, if this is where you think you are, right? Like if you're watching right now and you think you're in the zone where you're not doing very well on this, right? Then this next part is definitely where you want to pay attention, right? And we got our guy Alkin came in and said, it's easy for someone to buy, give him a C, right? He said for someone to come in and buy more, he's giving himself an F, right? And so listen, this is how you solve this. If you guys want to make more money, okay, solve these two problems. How easy is it to buy? How easy is it to buy more? Right, and we got somebody else coming in. I like Digital Hacks Growth Club. I like where they're coming in with the optimism. They give themselves a B minus. I like modesty. That for sure. The modesty, like Healing in Hindsight, came in with an F. I think listen, that's all right. I'm good with F. We can fix F. F's got a lot of room to grow here. So all right, let's take a look. These are 2 pages that we have created for different creators here on SamCart, right? And check this out, right? Imagine if instead of linking off to one of these crazy big, pages with 18 different tools, imagine linking to a page like this, right? And this is one that we made for a creator named Easlow, where we basically said, hey, listen, someone's going to come in and buy a customer relationship management template on Notion, okay, something that he's kind of known for. We're going to give it the name your price tool, so customers can come in and say, listen, we're going to make it real easy to buy. Anything over $1 and it's yours. You know what I mean? Anything over $20, anything over $50, whatever you want to do, right? And it's yours. And so I choose the name your price tool. I come down, I plug in a bunch of random credit card data. Like I'll plug in kind of our test credit card number. I'll plug in some random stuff. And then what are these, Jordan? These boxes right here are something we talk about every single week without fail, right? Talk me through what am I looking at here?
Yes, these are, this is the dollar menu. This is the add-ons. This is the fries and Coke. So these are order bumps. So when someone is in buying mode, do not get in their way. Get out of their way. If they got their credit card out and they're typing in their credit card number on your product, get out of the way. And then all you have to do is just put more products in front of them to say hey, you also want this? Hey, do you also want this? Maybe you want this. Order bumps are so great at this because once they have their credit card typed in up there, all they have to do is say, oh, yes, I do want this. And I also, yes, I want this. And I think on SamCart, you can add up to 4 order bumps. What's the most order bumps that you guys
can
have
do?
Ever
You can do an unlimited number of orders. Actually, if you really wanted to, the most I've ever seen in reality, someone really was doing it, was 17. That was the highest I ever saw.
Okay.
But we always ran, I think, 2 is great, 3 is awesome, 4, 5, you're, listen, test it out, put them out there, you know what I mean? But yeah, I mean, the idea is these are the would you like fries with that purchases, you know what I mean?
Yes.
This is how you get someone to go from buying one thing at a time to spending 2 or 3 or 4 times as much money, because you're giving them a chance to say, cool, yeah, I want to add, you got something else for me? I'd love to add that. I mean, it is the opposite of one and done,
Yeah, and we're going to bring it back to David's product, but I think we can absolutely do this, where we're selling one front-end product where maybe, if someone listens to the podcast and they're just a casual listener and they want to buy something, we're going to put a small offer, but then we're going to show them with order bumps. You can connect all of these products together into one bundle.
Yeah. For sure. Here's another great example. This is for Dickie Bush, the guys at Ship 30 for 30. Somebody's recently made the switch over to SamCart, which is awesome. But, this is another page made with SamCart. And it's just a really simple, it's one page. You're just kind of showcasing, hey, what's here? You know what I mean? What do I have available for you guys? And then, down here at the bottom, I just get a chance to say, hey, cool, would you like to pay in full or pay a payment plan? You know what I mean? If you wanted to make another payment plan option, you can make it longer and that kind of stuff. Someone's going to come down here, and again, here are these order bumps staring you in the face, right? Where you can say, hey, listen, here's my, for the guy Ship 30, they've got this little, software app for writing that you can add to it. Here's how about a lifetime, to join any future cohort that we do, of this training, of this course and stuff like that. And you can see how these orders all of a sudden really start to stack up. I mean, this is the kind of stuff where if you want your business soar. You need to make it easy for people to order stuff from you. And order bumps are just one great way to make that happen. There's a lot of different ways to make that happen. But at the end of the day, right, this is just one taste of what does it mean to help your customers go out there and buy more. So we'll drop these links down in the chat for you guys to go check out, right? But it would be awesome, right? If we back out one more time and just kind of look at David's setup, right? He's got a lot of things to buy, but here's the problem. The problem is he's got 4 or 5 different tools. He's got to log into all these things. His customers need to log into different places to go stuff and get stuff. You know what I mean? How cool would it be if we were take everything here, right? Take all these different offers, everything David's selling over here, right? And make them all available to buy, right? At the same time on one very simple page, right? So every time someone comes in to go buy his book, why couldn't someone, buy the book and say, hey, cool, yeah, I'd love to get the podcast playbook, right? I'd love to join, like let me into that community, man. I want that too, right? And all of a sudden your customers are going to go from spending, $30 to spending $100 to spending $200, right? Because you're giving them a chance to go out there and spend more. So Jordan, I hear you furiously clicking away off screen. What do you?
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I'm over there on the right, just kind of at it, like ordering it over here. So we could, because we've seen creators before where like their front end offer is like $700 or like $900 is the first thing that they show their customers. Like, but if they show if you said, hey, if you love my stuff, if you love my podcast, I have a $20 book. It's so super simple. Pick it up today. But once they're in that buying mode, once you convince them to check out that book page, that $20 book page, then you put in an order bump to say, also, and if you're into podcasting, if you love my podcast and love and always want to know how I do this, how I make a $100 million podcast, you should also buy this book. And you just do a little order bump and say add to order. And then for the community aspect, it could be another thing. Like, hey, if you really love this and you really love this podcast community, add that to your order as well, $79 a month. And with Samcart, they could hit checkout and you could show them an upsell page right afterwards and say, hey, $3,000 for a 1-hour coaching call. You love the community aspect. Here's a coaching strategy call for 1 hour. It's $3,000. And we've already got your credit card on file. All you have to do is add to order. So just like keep people in that buying mode. Scott, what would happen? What's the math now? If we did a $20 book customer and upgraded them all the way to a $3,000 coaching customer. Like
that's some big math. We made a rule, Jordan, last week that we do not do math public. I do not do that anymore. But that would be many, 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 many times X. You know what I mean? That's some really, really good math right there. So, I love the idea. And again, it's not that when people come here to like think about what's possible and what's out there, it's not that every customer is going to come through and say, yeah, give me all of that. You know what I mean? Like, that's not a reasonable expectation. But here's what is going to happen, right? Is you'll get customers that come through and one customer is going to say, yeah, give me the book and let me join the community. You know what I mean? And then the next customer is going to come through and say, yeah, give me the book and I'll take the podcast thing, right? And then every once in a while, every 10, every 20 people is going to come through and go, yep, 1, 2, 3, 4, give me all of it. You know what I mean? And that person is the reason these stuff exists. You know what I mean? It's the reason why, when you're selling on Shopify, you're missing out on so much. When you're selling on, even stuff like ClickFunnels or whatever, you don't have these features at your disposal. You can't do, this kind of stuff that we're showing you right here. And so, the order bumps, and then there's more opportunities on the back end, you know what I mean, with stored credit cards and just letting customers buy easier, right? That if you can solve, again, we come back to the original questions we always try to solve here, right? How big is the opportunity, right? What are they promoting? How easy is it to buy? How easy is it to buy more? If all you did was take the next 30 days and just focus on these two questions, how easy is it to buy? How easy is it to buy more? You know what I mean? And really, listen, we're gonna take this D, you know what I mean? And we're gonna turn this into B+. You know what I mean? You don't need to do crazy, awesome thing. You don't need to be like top 1% of people out there doing this kind of stuff. But if you just give your customers the chance to go out there and spend more, you are going to make many times more revenue. This is the kind of stuff that is big time needle moving type stuff. So anyway, whether you're David's size, you know what I mean? Whether you're just starting out, answering these 4 questions is exactly how we take a look at how big is a creator, what's the opportunity in front of them, and how well are they maximizing this opportunity. You know what I mean? David's probably got money coming in. You mentioned he does podcast advertising. He's got some other sources of revenue, you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, the stuff that's down here, right? the stuff that he's currently selling right now, all the stuff that he owns and he stands to benefit. You know what I mean? Like when someone buys one of these things, David's taken home damn near close to 100% of the revenue. You know what I mean? Which means it's probably way more valuable than the podcast advertising. It's way more valuable than, YouTube ads and stuff like that.
Airbnb.
And so, yeah, like, the Airbnb, he's going to pay him, I don't know, maybe a couple $100 when someone books it and stuff like that. I think it's cool. And by the way, go look at his Airbnb listing. The place is sick. It looks super awesome for anybody traveling to the Atlanta area. But anyway, you know what I mean? Selling this stuff is the greatest good you could do. We call all these things, you know what I mean? These just digital products. And I'm not even going to bother like spelling that out, you know what I mean? But digital products. And we talk about the idea of ownership, right? Sell stuff that you own, sell stuff that is yours, right? And watch the rewards take off. So sell stuff you own, make it easy for customers to buy, make it easier for customers to buy more.
100%. Yeah, Scott, at the very least, you're bringing all your customers under one roof. I mean, how many customers are like kind of left out in the cold because they bought a book on Shopify and they're just on a list over there, and somebody bought a book on ClickFunnels and they're on a list over there? Just, how many of those customers, if they were just all under one roof, they could all be sold to the same way, they get communicated the same way, all in the same email list, the same community, as opposed to just having like 4 or 5 different, dead ends.
Yeah, for sure. No, man, you bring that kind of stuff under one roof. You make it really easy. You create the experiences that we talked about on the other page, and just make it easy for customers to find out, oh, cool, I've got more stuff. There's more stuff from David that I can buy. Right now, I find one thing, I find the community that he sells and I go and I buy that. And then I got to go back and hope I find one of the other many things that he has for me. You know what I mean? And so when you just make it easy for customers to go, oh, cool, I'm looking for one thing and I found 2 more things along the way. You know what I mean? They're just going to scoop those things up and you're going to start making that much more. So awesome. Great question. And you guys have questions in it that drop in the chat down below. Love to answer as much as we could, like this one from Anita. So Anita said, do you make one account on Samcart and from that site starts different one-page sites from there? So basically saying, do I have one Samcart account and then I can make, as many pages like this one or like this example that we have here, you know what I mean? And the answer is yes, Anita. You can you create one Samcart page and you can create unlimited pages and roll out unlimited special deals and offers and subscriptions and memberships and whatever. Sell as much as you want from one account. That's exactly how it works.
Yeah, every order bump that we're showing there on the page is its own product. So you just, when you want to create a new product, you just add it to, you kind of like bundle it inside a current product. So with the Ship 30 product page, we have 2 other products called TypeShare and Ship for Life, and you just add it to the order bundle. Super simple.
You just give your customers a chance to say, cool, I want to add that to my cart as I'm checking out here. You know what I mean? Create as many products as you need, as many subscriptions, as many customers. There's no limiting factors or anything like that. You can create as much as you need.
All right. Al can ask a question.
Yeah.
I brought
up a different one. You go for it. Yeah.
Yeah. Alkin asked, this is funny. Okay. What about if I don't have social media, but organic traffic from Google is one user worth $1? We kind of asked that question like $1 per subscriber. My site is generating 20,000 page views a month. Wow. Okay. So he doesn't have a traffic issue. So what, Scott, what do you think? Is it an offer issue, a product issue, the right audience?
Yeah, I mean, listen, if you got 20,000 unique visitors a month, right, Alkin, one of the best things that you can be doing, right, is turning that into something that you own, right? So like, you don't own visitors coming from Google. You can't put a message in their inbox. You can't, you can't get back to them. So I think for Alkin, the idea here is, okay, what are they coming to me for, right? And can I start putting something like, can I start putting something easy to buy in front of them? You know what I mean? Something like David's example right here is this $37 ebook. Like, this is great. You know what I mean? It's easy to buy. I'm sure, if all of a sudden you had something up that was something, in this realm that's kind of just, again, the key word here we're looking for is easy to buy, right? It's not a big expensive purchase. It's not anything like huge, you know what I mean? And you started showing that to those 20,000 unique people that are coming out to you, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You'd probably start accumulating, right, a ton of customers, right? So if I can draw, you guys forgive me for a second as I get to my artistic side here, right? But if I start creating, here's a bucket, okay? Here's a bucket. We'll label this, customers. Okay. You just start filling this up. You know what I mean? People come in and every single day you'd be putting, 1, 2, 10, 20, 30, 40, whatever, how many people, into this bucket. And now when they're your customer, what happens from here, right? Now I can send them an email whenever I want. You know what I mean? Now I can, if I got their phone number, I can, send them a little text bubble, you know what I mean? And and drop them an SMS, it's like, there's just a lot of different things that you can do here where if you're just talking about Google traffic, you can't bring Google traffic back again tomorrow, you know what I mean? But if you start building your own lists, your own assets of, this is ownership, you're renting traffic from Facebook, from Instagram, from whatever, but over here on this side, when you have your own customer list, your own leads list, whatever, it's something that you own. And that is how you build a big freaking business. Is anytime I want, I can go email 1 million people, anytime I want. We hop on this live stream today, how many people have we registered for takeovers, Jordan, like in our Luma account? I mean, we're sending text messages to thousands of people, to come and join our live streams and hear about these videos, and it's that kind of stuff. And so when you have stuff that you own, that's when stuff can really, really take off.
Perfect. Yeah, 20,000. Even if you converted 1% of 20,000 people, that's 200 customers a month, which is not bad.
Yeah,
that's pretty
good. Yeah, 100%. I love that for sure. So, guys, that's going to wrap us up for this edition of the Tuesday Takeover.
Boom.
You guys,
there he is.
What?
Oh,
we got it. What's up?
In the building. What's up? There we go.
That's him. What's going on? David, what's going on, man? It's exciting to kind of go through. Hope you go back, check it out. Got something good. But yeah, certainly, love diving into this. It's always fun to look at creators who are out there and creating good stuff like David, like he is right there, setting an awesome example for people who are out there. And yeah, I think for us, the word I'm going to take away from this one, Jordan, and we'll do big takeaways before we kind of sign off here for a second. You know what I mean? Like, Jordan, what is your big single takeaway from, studying David's stuff here?
I think it's under one roof. I don't know if that's not a keyword, but like a buzzword. Under one roof. Bring it all under one roof. You have so many different apps. So I mean, even just from you're just paying for all these apps at once. If you just brought it under one roof where the customer experience is the same and your list is the same and there's no duplicate data or missing data, where all your customers are, and when you need to go talk to them about your next product, they're all right there, ready to go.
Yeah, for sure. So this slide right here it's not actually built for David. It was from a past takeover that we did, but we were looking at another creator that we called it duct tape e-commerce. When you have 4, 5, 6, 7 different tools and all the answers are in different spots and all that kind of stuff like that, it can get tough. You're checking stats in 18 different places, and you're doing a lot of. It's tough. It's tough for you. It's tough for your customers. So bringing stuff under one roof can be that easy. I think for me, the biggest thing I'm going to take away, is what we laid out down here, right? Is how can David take all this stuff that he's got sitting around, and let his customers explore and scoop up more than one product at a time. How can we double sales? How can we, 2-3x what customers are spending just by giving them a chance to say, cool, I'm buying the book, but man, I'm going to grab that podcast playbook by itself. Hey, I'm going to join. What if every single person who bought the Dreams book or bought the podcast playbook had a $1 trial to join the community at membership? How many more people will be put in there? How do we make that kind of stuff happen? So that's my big takeaway always is how do we let customers buy more? That's always my big one there. So guys, we would love for you guys to drop your big takeaways in the chat down below. Obviously we have David. Cheers, my man. It was a good time. Definitely go check it out. Hit us back with questions. It's always fun to chat about this stuff. And so, for you guys out there who are you're a creator, no matter how big, how small your audience is, their opportunity is everywhere for you guys to get out there, start creating awesome stuff, start letting your customers buy and letting your customers buy more. If all you did was check those 3 boxes right there, I got something to buy, it's easy to find, it's easy to buy more, then you have a full-time thing on your hands easily. So, Jordan, if people want to check out more takeovers like this when we do them every single Tuesday, let them know how do they get notified.
Yeah, they go right here to, I'm going to drop it in the chat. It's the Luma page. So they go to Luma/SamCard Takeover Live, and you can add your email. Now you can add your phone number for SMS. My dog's going crazy in the background. But you can add all that and register. And we're here every Tuesday at 4 p.m. Eastern.
Every Tuesday at 4 p.m. Eastern. That's it. So we will be back again next Tuesday with another awesome creator, maybe from the new Austin studio. Maybe. We'll see what's up. But for all of you guys, I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your guys' weeks here. Me and Jordan and I have the entire SamCard team. We will catch you in the next edition of the Tuesday Takeover. We out. Be good.